I'm Lisa Jacobson, and welcome to Real Life with Lisa, where we talk about all kinds of things, sometimes practical things, sometimes heart issues, and just the real life that God has called us to enjoy richly and to walk with Him. So today, I have a question from a reader, and I've actually received this question from a number of you. So I thought, even though I don't normally speak too much about homeschooling, I thought today we'd go ahead and dive into that. So here's what the reader wrote. Dearest Lisa, I am loving this new series you are doing. It has been so fun to sit and listen to you. Thank you. I only wish we lived closer and could sit and talk for a longer period of time. And I agree. I wish that as well. So thank you so much. And then she goes on to ask this question. I would love to see more from you on homeschooling, what your day looked like with all different ages, how you stay on top of everything, and any resources you loved. Okay, so good questions. And to be honest, I could talk about homeschooling all day, but I won't, I promise. I'm going to hit on some of these things that she's asked and just some of my, my top tips on homeschooling. But before we dive into that, you should know something about me, especially if you don't homeschool. And that is, I am a big fan of homeschooling. I love homeschooling. But I am not a militant homeschooler, which is to say that I don't think homeschooling is the only way to go. I have lots of friends who have children in private schools and in public school, and they are raising beautiful children for the Lord. So I just want you to know where I'm coming from. So if you sense my enthusiasm for homeschooling, it's because I love it, and I do recommend it, but I don't think it's the only way, just so you know. Okay, so let's back up and I'll tell you a little bit about myself if you are new and don't know my story. But we have 8 children. Our oldest son is 22, and we have a son, 4 daughters, and then 3 younger boys. Our youngest is 10, so pretty big age range there, 10 to 22. We have 4 high school graduates, and our oldest son is working on his master's degree, and the next daughter chose not to go to college. She's involved in journalism. And then another daughter who's a sophomore in college. And then our other daughter just graduated, so she's still deciding what she wants to do next. And then, of course, we have the younger kids that we are very actively homeschooling. Okay, that's just where we're coming from. Now, I have been homeschooling from day one. For those of you who have been wondering, I've always homeschooled, and we homeschooled clear through high school. I know different people do it different ways. That's just the way our family's done it. Okay, so one of the questions you asked was just kind of what our day looks like. So I'm going to tell you, we'll just walk it through together. And in our home, we try to start schooling at about 9:30 in the morning after breakfast and morning chores. And we usually would start with a time of Bible study or a character building, talk about honesty or faithfulness, loyalty, those kinds of things. We've done different things each year. We would try something different. And then from 10 to 12 is what we do. We call our formal academics. And that is math, reading, writing, science, history. And in case you're wondering, how could you do all of those topics in 2 hours? I will tell you. We do different things. Sometimes we just do 30 minutes for each topic. Other years we have alternated. So let's say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you do these, do history, and then Tuesday and Thursdays we'll do science. And we definitely mix it up. The only thing that we're super consistent about is the children have to do their math every day, because we've found that math is the easiest subject to get behind on. So that's the only thing we're super adamant about. Now, why do we only do formal academics in 2 hours a day? That's a good question. That's what works for us. And it's not to say that we don't do other academics, because as I'm gonna walk it out with you, you'll see we do other things. It's just that for me, and I guess the needs in our home, that's what works well for us. Okay, so noon, we break, and I send the kids outside or to go play or do something, because by then I'm just crazy and ready. They're all, wiggly, and we've gotten all our hard work behind us. At 12:30, we have lunch. And then at 1:30, this is our quiet studies time. And that is, so remember I was saying how we do studies other times. This is the time where the kids will do their reading. They'll write a paper. they'll do those, what I call their quiet work. And one of the reasons I like quiet work is if we have younger children at home, that's when they nap. And I am a big fan of napping. I made my kids nap until they were graduated from high school, or well, maybe not quite that bad, but you get the idea. I'm a big fan of nap and quiet time. So that's actually still the routine to our this day, even though, like I said, our youngest is 10 now. So, and that's the time, 1:30 to 3, that I will use for preparation for studies. I might be working with a child on something. It's when I do some of my online work, but it's a great chunk of the afternoon that we can get that kind of concentrated work done. Then at 3 o'clock, everybody breaks and they get to go move their bodies. Ideally, they're going to go outside. They're going to ride their bikes. They're going to play. I just make them go outside if at all possible. We live in the Pacific Northwest where it can get very stormy. So sometimes I'll relent and they'll stay inside. And that's usually when they'll, take a big rope and hang it from the balcony and make a swing. And so it gets a little nutty, but I make them move. Okay, so what do we do from 3 to 8:30, right? There's a big chunk of time right there. I've already talked when I was talking about our morning routine and our evening routine, some of the things that we do. But I also look at that time as a great alternate time for different kinds of studies. This is when we do things that they're really interested in. So we have one child that's really interested in science. So we might watch a science documentary in the evening, or if another child is interested in art, so maybe we'll go to a museum. You get the idea, right? So we're just, those are wonderful times to really pursue those specific and individual interests. Overall, our goal and desire is that our kids learn to love learning. And because we found that just takes them so far. And by the time they get into late high school, they were ready to really pursue the things that they felt God was calling them to do. So it's kind of a both and, because there's that, hey, pursue what you want to do. What are you interested in? But we also want them to learn the discipline of hard work of studying and doing what they need to do. So that's kind of more that morning time, remember I told you about? So like we are really adamant about doing your math every day, and that you turn your papers in on time. So for us, it's we want to have a balance of discipline, and you get to do this whether you feel like it or not. But we also want them to love learning new things and to enjoy the talents and interests God's given them.